Hey there, I'm Kelly Holsendorf, host of The Park Show. Welcome. Typically on this show, we pick one topic and explore it, but today we've got a bunch of different stories for you. It's our Parks Mashup edition.
The butterfly exhibit has become a really popular destination.
I'm here today to talk about trail safety.
The Wheaton Adventure Playground behind me here is finally under reconstruction after nearly 20 years.
Picking it up and moving it away from the intersection.
We'll also be checking in with the Department of Recreation to see what's happening there. Looks like fun, huh? And to end the show, Parks Director Mary Bradford takes us for a spin around Norwood Park.
So why do I like to do this 360 of a park?
Stay tuned for the next edition of The Park Show. So welcome. Today, as I mentioned, we're checking out a little bit of this and a little bit of that. That is Lake Needwood in Rockville. Let me give you an update. As you can see, the water is pretty low. That's because Lake Needwood is being improved. This man-made lake was built in the mid-60s for flood management as well as to provide recreational opportunities. And with a lake of this size, 75 acres, it's usual for sediment to build up. Earlier this year, we began the dredging process. To remove the material, park engineers had to lower the water 6 feet. We had a very rainy spring, so that took a bit longer than expected. Then 160,000 cubic yards of sediment, more than 10,000 dump truckloads, had to be hauled up the road. It's being deposited in a new park area between Rock Creek Park and the new ICC highway. This area will eventually be reforested to create a buffer. Now that's complete, the lake will be refilled, which is entirely dependent upon weather. In addition to improving recreation opportunities by increasing the water depth, the aquatic habitat of the lake will get better, as well as the ability of the forebay to remove sediment before it reaches the lake. This then will extend the time frame before we need to remove sediment in the future. Also during the work, we had to shut down the Lake Needwood boat rental operation for the summer season. While it's out of commission, come visit us at Black Hill Boats. If you have a Captain's Club card from Lake Needwood Boats, bring it with you and we'll give you $5 off one boat rental this season. In the meantime, the rest of Rock Creek Regional Park is open for business as usual. Picnic areas, playgrounds, trails, and of course, the new Go Ape Ropes course. For more information on the lake's progress, please go to lakeneedwoodboats.com. Next, let's head up county to Bellsville. There's a historic building on the move.
Hi, I'm Julie Mueller. I'm with Montgomery County Parks. What you might not know about the parks is that we own more than 150 cultural resources. Cultural resources are historic buildings and archaeological sites. So how did we get these sites? Well, as Parks acquires land, oftentimes there are buildings on that property. Some of those buildings are historic and some of them are not. In this case, the Darby store and Darby House, which are right next to it, were part of an acquisition of a little over 25 acres. So this store, which is in the center of the Bellsville Historic District, as you can see, is located right on the intersection of routes 28 and 109. We're awfully close to the intersection. Cars coming up the street, I can put out my hand and practically touch it and the store at the same time. In fact, it's so close to the intersection that about 20 years ago, a truck turning the corner took off the front porch. So, what do you do with an old building that's kind of falling apart, that's right on an intersection? We're not allowed to tear it down because it's within a historic district, and it is a historic building built in 1910. So let's think about possibly picking it up and moving it away from the intersection. The cast of staff involved in moving this building is varied. It includes everyone from Montgomery County Park staff, such as myself, and people from our facilities management group, which is responsible for digging the foundation and who will be responsible for stabilizing the building. So we're going to pick the store up. We're going to move it over about the same width as the building is itself, so about 20 feet, and we're going to be moving it back about 60 feet altogether. We hired expert house movers to actually hoist the building up, and they are going to be rolling the building onto the foundation. They were hired for their expertise. They, in the past, have moved many historic buildings, including the Hatteras Lighthouse. And we figured if they can move a lighthouse, they can certainly move a structure like this. Here it goes! Here it goes! When we knew that we were going to be moving the Darby store, one of the things that we wanted to do was do an archaeological investigation of where the foundation was going to be dug, because we know from histories of this area that there had been other buildings on that corner before the Darby store was built. We also knew that there had been a Civil War encampment in this area, and we were really curious to find out what, if any, kind of artifacts would be found in the area between the store and the house. So starting in the summer of 2009, we began an archaeological investigation. And we had our staff and volunteers out here for many, many months. And some of you might have seen them out here with their shovels and rakes and sifters going through the dirt. In this area of the property, the archaeologists found a lot of coins. We surmised that people probably were putting their hands in their pockets as they were coming in and out of the store, and coins dropped out. But also, because there was such a concentration of coins in one area, we're thinking that people probably sat on the corner and probably did some gambling, either with dice or cards. We hope to have the building completely rehabilitated within the next year and a half, and during that period we're going to be having ongoing discussions about who's going to be using the building. One thing that we do know is that we're going to have an exhibit inside the store, and that exhibit will be about the Darby store and its history. Some of the artifacts that we've collected from the Darby store include a wide variety of things. This is an example of just a box full of receipts that we found in the store. Among these many receipts, that shows that the Darbys purchased penny candy in jars such as these from a distributor in Richmond. It included many of my favorites, such as Tootsie Rolls, Jawbreakers, and Mary Jane's. It's going to be bright and shiny and clean. There's going to be a new tin ceiling, and it's going to look really terrific for future tenants.
So I bet you're wondering what a move like this costs. Julie told me earlier that the price tag is around $320,000. That includes everything from hazmat investigations, to engineering drawings, to labor and materials, to exterior painting. In addition to renovating historic structures, the Parks Department renovates new playgrounds too. Let's check in with Ken Ferrara, Park Manager at Wheaton Regional Park, to find out more about the new playground there.
Hi, I'm Ken Ferrari, Park Manager for Wheaton Regional Park and several parks in the Wheaton and Silver Spring area. Wheaton Regional Park includes an athletic area, the adventure playground, the training carousel, Pine Lake, a dog park, baseball fields, the Wheaton ice rink, and indoor tennis bowling. The Wheaton Adventure Playground behind me here is finally under reconstruction after nearly 20 years. The adventure playground includes a boardwalk, tot swings, a crawl tube, swings, climbing nets, an observation platform, a climbing wall, an outdoor classroom, a climbing mound, play structures, a spinner, slides, balance beams, parallel bars, a tot area, and the much-loved concrete animals from the previous playground. The playground has features and amenities from toddlers to teens. We expect construction to be completed well before the end of summer, and we're looking forward to having all the kids back in the park.
Ken, I know those concrete animals well. My son Caleb is a huge fan. He was in that video. FYI, park planners typically renovate 10 existing playgrounds each year. Besides Wheaton this year, there are renovations in store for Bradley Local Park, Wall Local Park, and West Fairland Local Park. Looking ahead, we will be redoing playgrounds at Camp Seneca Special Park, Forest Glen Neighborhood Park, and Waters Landing Local Park. But this is not the complete list. To learn more, visit parkprojects.org. Another popular resource here in the Parks Department is our trail system. We have more than 200 miles from natural surface wilderness trails in Olney to urban paved trails in Bethesda. Sometimes they can get crowded.
Hi, my name's DJ Brew with the Maryland National Capital Park Police, and I'm here today to talk about trail safety. As a part of my job, we patrol the trails and the parks in Montgomery County, and I'm here on to the Capitol Crescent Trail today to talk about one thing that we've come up with, and that's courtesy. C, clear ear. Having one earphone in at a time is preferred as opposed to having both ears covered with earphones. O, observe the rules of the trail. U, use your senses, which is why we don't want you to have both of your ears covered, so you can use all senses when traveling on the trails. R, respect others. T, take a short leash, and that's if you're walking a dog, making sure the leash is no longer than the width of the trail. E, everyone keeps it flowing. You don't want to stop on the trail to talk to a friend. You actually want to move off of the trail so that traffic can continue to move. S is for signal, just as this person just did as they're passing us. And Y, you can be the solution, which is taking all of these letters into account and using them when you're out on the trail. Another valuable asset we have here at the Park Police is our volunteers, like Jim Hathaway.
As park volunteers, we are trained to be the eyes and ears of the Park Police to help point out safety issues or crime issues within the parks. We have extensive training to help us on our mission.
So if you'd like to volunteer with our agency, or you just want to call in because you see something suspicious on the trail, just give us a call.
That's a great way to remember courtesy along the trails. We're going to take a little break now, but when we come back, we'll visit the Wings of Fancy Butterfly Show at Brookside Gardens and drop in on an art class offered by the Recreation Department.
Hey, there's T-Rex, the active dinosaur who finds fun things to do with Montgomery County's Recreation Department. Getting involved in the county's recreational activities is easy. Just register like T-Rex. So get the guide and register by mail, online, or in person at one of the county's community centers. Hey, wait, where in the county is T-Rex going next?
Are you wild about Montgomery County? Well, Montgomery County's wild on you. With more than 100 miles of trails and almost 90,000 acres of forested land, the county boasts dozens of great green getaways. These areas alleviate flooding, control erosion, provide habitat for wildlife, and recreational opportunities. Go wild in Montgomery County by exploring a new place to kayak, discovering a unique butterfly habitat, or visiting a nature center. Just check out wildmontgomery.org to celebrate nature at its best. Welcome back. We've been talking about park improvements and park resources such as lakes and trails. Montgomery Parks also manages ice skating rinks, tennis courts, nature centers, and public gardens. Brookside Gardens is a popular destination for us. There's a lot going on there this summer.
Hi, I'm Leslie McDermott at Brookside Gardens. We are here at the Wings of Fancy live butterfly exhibit. It's the hottest ticket in town right now. So let's go back and meet Kathy Stevens, our conservatory manager, so she can tell you more about the butterflies and caterpillars. Come on.
You buy your admission at the gift shop, and then you'll be walking down this long garden path through our butterfly garden on your way to the entrance to the Wings of Fancy exhibit. So you can learn which plants you need to grow, not just to attract the adults, but also to feed the caterpillars and help butterflies thrive in our area. You can learn a lot about butterflies and gardening for butterflies before you even get to the front door of our exhibit. Inside this greenhouse, we have butterflies from all over the world, flying around freely.
I want a butterfly to land on my finger.
Among plants that provide them with nectar and also fruit juices, if that's what they prefer.
But the reason that some of the butterflies prefer to eat fruit is they grew up somewhere where there's more rotting fruit, for example, a rainforest.
You can see the entire life cycle of the butterfly when you come here, from eggs to caterpillars to the pupa to the flying adults. We also want you to just enjoy the motion and the color and the just kind of the fantasy land that this greenhouse becomes when it just becomes Butterfly World. So it's really a special event that runs for a limited time from May through mid-September, and it's open every day.
Now we don't want to lose any butterflies, so we need to check really, really good. So I want you to shake your skirts and your pants legs. Now check your shoes, you know, make sure there's none on the tops. Oh, well, let me see if you have something in your hair. Nah, I don't think so. When you go through this door, you will have to check again. We have to check twice.
Stand here in front of the mirror and we're going to check ourselves. We're going to shake our shirts, flap our wings, okay?
A visit to the exhibit is a great thing to do even if you're just a mom and a child, or you've got friends visiting from out of town. But the butterfly exhibit has become a really popular destination for group visits of all kinds.
Thanks, Kathy. In addition to the Wings of Fancy live butterfly exhibit, which runs through September 18th, we have many workshops, demonstrations, a Landscape for Life lecture series. So come on out to the gardens and enjoy the gardens, enjoy the programs, the events that we have to offer all year round. You can get more information by picking up a copy of Experience magazine or going to our website, brooksidegardens.org. See you in the gardens.
Leslie and Kathy, that butterfly show is not only fun, but interesting. I mean, what parent doesn't want that for the kids this summer? The Parks Department also offers camps, programs, and classes. Just go to parkpass.org to find out more and sign up. Classes are held through our sister agency, the Department of Recreation, as well. Here's Valerie Graham to show us a clay day.
Hi, I'm Valerie Graham from the Montgomery County Department of Recreation. I'm here at the Sligo Creek Pottery Studio. This building doesn't look like much, but I'm told that there's pottery magic happening inside. Let's go see what's going on.
Nice to meet you. I'm Angela, the instructor. We have a doctor's smock from a former student.
Be a doctor.
Okay.
Thank you.
One of the first things we do for beginning students is teach them how to make a pinch pot. Slowly push your thumb in, then grab it with your fingers and pinch.
Hence the name pinch pot.
Smart girl. Sligo Creek Pottery is at the intersection of Dale and Wayne Avenue in Silver Spring, inside the Beltway. It was formerly Blair High School. Originally, the class started over 60 years ago. This was, I would say, more of a senior class.
I was in the class, which was then adult ed, in 1973-74 I started. And I have some notes here from during that time, and I have records of each pot. It's as much fun as it was back in the 70s.
My youngest one went off to preschool for 2 hours. This was 25 years ago. And I saw this class put up, this class, and I came running over. A lot of work. Well, 25 years of work.
They said there's a potter named Michael Cardew. He was a British potter, and he said it took 7 years of work every day to become a production potter. So I try to tell the students, don't get upset if they can't make a pot in one session.
I teach nursing at Montgomery College on Tacoma Park campus. It's my release. My job is so flexible that this is the best.
In college, I couldn't decide whether I wanted to be a paleontologist, a historian, or an artist. And I decided I did not have the talent for being an artist, so I became a paleontologist. Haven't done paleontology for a long time, I guess you might say. I'm making my own fossils here.
I started collecting owls in college. I found a lot of great ceramic pieces and jewelry at thrift stores, and so that the image is always in my mind.
It requires a lot of concentration, so if you're worried about other things, you just have to think about what you do.
The people are really nice. It's just sometimes you can spend a couple of hours in here and really not converse with anyone else. You're just really into what you're doing.
Pottery is a great stress reliever. I'm a cameraman, and my flexible schedule allows me to come here in the middle of the day sometimes with lots of retired people.
I'm still struggling, and he goes and slaps it up, and look at the bowls, look at him.
This started out as a bowl, but it turned into more of a candy dish with the scalloped edges, and I just started having fun changing the shape of it.
This is our kiln room, and we're very lucky in that we have 6 brand new kilns. The pots are brought in here to dry, and once they're dry, we put them in the kiln over there to be bisque fired. They're bisque fired, we remove them, we take them out onto the tables where students pick them up again. They glaze them in the glaze of their choice.
And this is applying the glossy finish to the pottery. So I'm happy.
They then return them over here to these shelves. We fire them, they come out of this kiln.
So this is Christmas. You get to open it up and see what's inside.
We return them out in the final stage.
This class was amazing and so much fun. Look at all this stuff I made. By the way, this is not the only location where we offer pottery and ceramic classes. We also offer those classes in 7 other locations across the county. For more information about the Department of Recreation's facilities, classes, and activities, please look us up online at www.montgomerycountymd.gov/rec.
Okay, so I promised you at the beginning of the show we would talk to Mary Bradford, the director of the Montgomery County Department of Parks. Montgomery Parks includes more than 35,000 acres of parkland and 414 parks. Mary gives us a 360-degree view of what it takes to run a huge park system like this.
Hi, I'm Mary Bradford, Director of Montgomery Parks, and I'd like to show you a 360 view of what it takes to make a park. I've been working in the park business for many years, almost all my adult life. And one of the things that I try to do when I go to a park is train people's eyes to see what I see when I go to a park, the work that goes into it and what you need to know. So we're going to do a 360 starting with this tree right here. Here, for example, is a champion tree, you can tell by the tag, that requires a specialized tree crew and staff to make sure that it stays healthy, is properly trimmed, and is in good condition for the future. Also take a look right from the same spot at a historic building that we have in our park, the Animal Husbandry Building. It's where they say salmonella was first isolated, and that requires us to have historians who know how to conserve a building like this, people who can help provide a good use of the building. There's an art class going on in there right now, and other staff that may rent it or use it for demonstrating their various techniques that we have in our shops, like carpentry and masonry, to help keep that building protected in this park. Now moving on, you can see that there's asphalt and asphalt paths throughout this park. There's parking lots. That requires a certain amount of money and maintenance, keeping it safe so that people and pedestrians can use it safely. Beyond that, you'll notice there's a large green field, which is often a place for sports, permitted sports and pickup sports, youth and adult sports, and that requires mowing and patrolling and reconstructing, actually, if it's damaged by storm or other events. And over there is another type of field, which is a baseball field, which requires a skinned infield and lining and fences around it, protection. We have staff that come out during the week and make sure that it's in good shape, and we often work with partners to try to keep these fields protected and keep them maintained. So we are trying our best to maintain good, safe playing fields for the general public. You'll notice right in front of those fields, you can't miss it really, that there's trash that accumulates after a busy weekend. We have to have portable restrooms. That requires a contract that we administer. And we have trash trucks that come in and pick up that trash. In the general direction, following around our 360 degrees, you'll notice two other buildings there. They may or may not be historic buildings, but there are a number of small buildings and parks which are often rented out to groups for such things as cooperative nursery schools, or in some cases they may be rented to tenants, bring some rental income into the parks while we maintain the general aspect of the popular parks in Montgomery County. Now to the right of those buildings in this particular park, you'll see there are tennis courts here. We do have people who inspect these tennis courts regularly and make sure that they are safe, because obviously if you have a faulty surface, there's a possibility that someone could twist an ankle or get hurt. So as we're almost done with our 360 now, we see a playground that is a playground that was actually donated by Friends of Norwood, a group working through the Montgomery Parks Foundation. Some of our playgrounds we build ourselves using tax dollars. Some where we have generous donations from the public. And if you pan down, you can even see some bricks that were donated to help make this park more beautiful. But we still are required to pull the permits for those, to make sure the construction is done properly and safely according to playground standards. And we require regular playground inspectors to come out to ensure its safety and provide replacement parts over time. Sometimes these facilities are self-supporting. For example, at Wheaton Regional Park, we have tennis courts, tennis bubble, ice rink. I could stand you at Wheaton Regional and you could see a miniature train. None of which take tax money to support, but all of which provide services and amenities to people. As we continue, there's also information kiosks in many of our parks, and this requires people to keep those updated with current information where people can find out more about their parks and enjoy the wonderful facilities Montgomery County has to offer. So why do I like to do this 360 of a park? It's because I'd like you to know what it takes to maintain, operate, and run a park. It's not just mowing and picking up trash. It's all these other professions and skills that are required to make sure that your parks are safe, that the trees and the buildings are healthy, and that there are costs associated with that we can only get by either charging people admission for certain facilities, or relying on your tax dollars, or on the generosity of our friends. If you would like to do something to help contribute to what it takes to run really good parks, I encourage you to visit our website, montgomeryparks.org, learn more about what we do, learn how you can be a part of what makes our park system in Montgomery County so wonderful and so popular with the citizens and residents.
Thanks, Mary. Well, that's it for this episode of The Park Show. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the parks. And to Joseph Labasco, our #1 fan, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.